Imagine a beauty so breathtaking that it emptied the temples of Aphrodite herself, sparking a jealousy that would shake the foundations of Mount Olympus. This is not just a romance, it is a tale of divine wrath, impossible trials, and a love that bridged the mortal and the immortal realms. It is the story of Psyche, the human soul, and Eros, the god of love. But can a mortal truly love a beast? Long ago, the youngest daughter of a king, Psyche, was born with beauty that rivaled the dawn. People abandoned Aphrodite's altars to worship her instead. Enraged, the goddess of love commanded her son, Eros, to curse the girl to fall for a hideous beast. But when Eros descended, arrow poised, he faltered. Stunned by her radiance, he accidentally pricked his own skin. The hunter became the prey, falling irrevocably in love with the very mortal he was sent to destroy. No suitors came for Psyche. The oracle decreed her husband was a monster, and she was left on a funeral crag to die. But death never arrived. Zephyrus, the gentle west wind, swept her from the rocks, carrying her to a hidden valley. There stood a palace of crystal and gold. By day, invisible servants attended her. By night, a lover visited in the velvet darkness. He offered paradise and devotion with one condition: she must never attempt to see his face. Solitude breeds fear. Psyche begged to see her sisters. When they arrived, envy poisoned their hearts at the sight of her luxury. They whispered venom into her ear. He hides in the dark because he is a serpent, fattening you for the kill. You must strike first. Doubt is a weed that grows fast. That night, trembling, Psyche hid a lamp and a sharp dagger by her bedside. Love had given her everything, but fear convinced her she was sleeping next to a monster. Silence filled the room. Psyche raised the lamp. The light did not reveal a beast, but Eros, the divine perfection of beauty itself. His golden wings shimmered, his face was serene in sleep. Horror turned to awe, then shame. Her hand shook, spilling scalding oil onto his shoulder. He awoke with a cry. Seeing the knife, his eyes filled with betrayal. Love cannot live where there is no trust, he declared, launching himself into the night sky, leaving her alone. Desperate, Psyche sought Aphrodite to beg forgiveness. The goddess laughed, offering redemption only through impossible tasks. The first was to sort a massive hill of mixed grains, wheat, poppy, and lentils, by dawn. Psyche collapsed, defeated, but the earth felt her sorrow. An army of ants, 1,000 strong, marched forth. A flowing river of insects, they separated the pile, grain by grain. When dawn broke, the impossible task was complete, fueling Aphrodite's rage rather than her mercy. The trials continued. She had to gather fleece from murderous golden sheep and fill a flask from the river Styx, guarded by dragons. Psyche walked toward death, but nature intervened. Reeds whispered how to gather wool from briars at dusk. Zeus's eagle swooped down to fill her flask from the deadly waterfall. The elements themselves conspired to save the girl who loved love. But Aphrodite had one final fatal command: bring me a box of beauty from the queen of the underworld. Guided by a mysterious tower, Psyche descended into the earth.
She paid Charon the ferryman, appeased the three-headed Cerberus with cake, and refused the food of the dead. Walking where no living mortal should tread, she stood before Persephone. Moved by her plight, the pale queen granted the request. Psyche secured the box and began the ascent, fueled only by the hope of redemption. She had conquered the impossible, yet her greatest enemy remained, her own human nature. Emerging into the sunlight, vanity struck. Just a touch of divine beauty, she thought, to win back Eros. She lifted the lid, but the box held no beauty, only Stygian sleep. A dark mist choked her breath, her limbs turned to lead. Psyche fell cold upon the meadow grass. After surviving gods and monsters, she was defeated by curiosity in the final moment. She lay still, a tragic monument to the frailty of the mortal soul. But Eros had healed. Unable to bear the separation, he escaped his chamber and found her. With a tender touch, he wiped the sleep of death from her eyes and returned it to the box. He pricked her gently with an arrow to wake her. "Curiosity almost destroyed you again," he whispered. While she rushed to deliver the box, Eros flew to the highest authority, Zeus himself, pleading his case to end her suffering once and for all. Zeus smiled. He summoned the council and offered Psyche a cup of ambrosia. As she drank, mortality dissolved. Butterfly wings burst from her shoulders. She was now a goddess. Even Aphrodite relented. From their union came a daughter, Hedone, bliss. The myth stands eternal. The soul must suffer and travel through darkness to find love. But once united, they create a joy that lasts forever. A love that not even the gods can deny.